Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. I'm Griffin Youngs, joined by Christian Bolle. As always, Christian, you're on my computer screen again. I can't see you in person this time. It looks like we're the same height now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It feels quite weird, honestly, but also like very comforting at the same time. And I'm
Mhm.
also trying to figure out why our banner names aren't
I,
up there right
we
now.
noticed that at the exact same time,
So
and
this is just
I'll let you mess around with that for a second.
yeah. I mean, it's here's the thing. If,
But
if you haven't, you know where to find us if
you
you're
know
there.
where to find us.
Um,
You know what we look like at this point.
but it is weird because like in a way I miss the studio, but also in a different way. And our names are back as we speak right now. I miss the studio, but I also don't miss it because I have a wealth of knowledge in my laptop right in
Mhm.
front of me. And even though Danny was doing a phenomenal job producing the show on Saturday night for us, my eyesight is so bad that when it's only 5 feet away from me, I can actually read my computer screen.
Christian, I'm going to break something to you and prove that I am the dumbest man on the face of the planet because
Yeah,
I
let's
got
hear
back in my car. My laptop was in my car the whole
Oh,
time.
okay. Yeah.
I could have just gone out to my car and gotten it at any point. I
Also,
just
just a crazy thing to leave your laptop in your car in downtown Denver.
It
You are
was covered by my sweatshirt and garbage. So it was so good that
crazy.
I forgot it was there. So
Yeah, crazy, man. Crazy to do that. But it is kind of nice to be in the comforts of my own basement in my home studio. But also very excited for when we do postseason games in the studio. And we got pretty good reception from that. I had my entire family texting me, and they felt like I was a celebrity, and I felt like a celebrity. And to be quite frank with you guys, we weren't planning on going tonight because we didn't think an Avs versus Flames game would be deserving of an episode. But then the Avs kicked the absolute shit out of the Flames so bad, we had to come on and talk about it.
And then so much happened in the NHL between the course of the last episode and this one. It kind of necessitated it
Yep.
because, like, realistically, we went on Saturday. We played the Flames just today on Monday. We had a pretty good feeling the Avs were going to win this game. Probably not going to be a lot to talk about. Probably save it for Vancouver, right, where we can talk about both games, let some news happen. So much has happened in the league. And then in this game, which we will talk about first, the Avalanche, for the second time this season, hang 9 goals on a team. They beat the Calgary Flames 9-2 in one of the biggest maulings I have ever watched in
Can I
my
ask you
entire
what
life.
first period was better? This one against the Flames tonight or the one earlier this year against the Blues?
This one. I'd,
Do you
I'd
like
say
the one?
I'd say the poetic justice of the Blues was better because it was right on the back of Binnington getting the Olympic nod over both Blackwood and Wedgwood. So that one felt better and just more of like a karmic balance. This one, like this was the most dominant period. Like I feel like I've watched probably since game 2 or game 1 against Nashville in 2022, where like, they just ran them out of the building from the jump. Like we were saying, it's like, oh, the game was over after the Kadri power play goals. I feel like you could make an argument the game was over after the first one from Jack Drury, just the way he scored it from behind the goal line. You had an inkling that you might be in for something here. They get the power play, they get the 5-on-3. Kadri scores on the 5-on-3 and in the 5-on-4. It's 3-0. Landeskog scores on a breakaway just a few minutes later in that game. It is 4-0, 9 minutes into the game. And then Parker Kelly, right before the 16-minute mark, makes it 5-0.
Here's the
Unbelievable.
thing. Here's the thing. They probably could have scored 9 in that period. Dustin Wolf, I know he got pulled in the first 6 minutes of the game. There was absolutely nothing Dustin Wolf could have done in this game other than be like 5 times bigger and just block the entire net because the Flames weren't defending shit. Dustin Wolf made some incredible saves to keep it a respectable score, and 5-0 is respectable because it could have been 7 or 8-0.
And it probably should have been. The Avalanche put up 26 shots in this first period. 26 shots in this first period alone. The Flames had 9. And 9 shots in the first period, it's not even that bad.
Yep.
But maybe for the first time in history, you can call them getting 9 score effects because the Avalanche were winding down this game with like 50 minutes to go, basically. They had wrapped this thing up before we could even really get started. And they took, you can almost say they took the next 2 periods off. I mean, the Flames outshot them in the second period, 8-7. It was only 1-1 in the second period. But then the Avs, they scored 3 more goals in the third period. They put up 16 more shots in the third period, and they finished this game 9-2. Like just an absolute mauling in every sense of the word. The power play goes 3 for 4. Ridiculous.
Insane. I don't even know where to start. I mean, let's start with. I want to tackle the fourth line conundrum we're going to have, and it's a good conundrum to have because the fourth line, I think Parker Kelly ends up with 3 points tonight. Jack Drury had 3 points as well this evening. So those two you feel pretty safe about, and Nick Waugh's coming back. With the way that fourth line is going, what do you think they should do? Because I think it's Nick Waugh's going to be in, but I also don't want to take Joel Kiviranta out of the lineup right now. He's done absolutely nothing to get taken out of the lineup.
This is like now the conversation we've been having for a little while now on steroids is like Kiviranta's done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be his fault that he gets taken out of the lineup because you can't sit Nick Waugh. You can't. Like you trade a first round pick for the guy. If Nick Waugh sucked before getting hurt, that'd be a different conversation. Nick Waugh was great. Nick Waugh did nothing wrong. Like the only thing he did is he gets a little banged up, and now they're just giving him time before the playoffs. And so it's unfortunate, but like we are literally too good.
It's a good problem to have. It's just Joel Kiviranta is Jared Bednar's like dream of a player. Like he loves Joel Kiviranta's like archetype. But also Nick Waugh is kind of also Jared Bednar's like dream player as well.
The entire bottom 6 is full of players that Jared Bednar loves. I wonder how that happened. But you look at it and you go, I mean, Kiwi, I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing else you could have done other than maybe like score a little bit. Like he's done everything else right. But when Nick Waugh comes back, someone has to go. Like you got to take somebody out of the lineup, and it literally can't be anybody else because everyone else is doing perfectly. And not that Yoel isn't. Yeah. But someone has to. This is the first time since 22 that you've had the problem of like, who do you take out? Right. You have to take somebody out. You cannot play all of these players at once. And it just feels like Nick Waugh's not really an option because he is that good. And I think just because he's hurt right now, people are like, oh, well, should Nick Waugh be playing when he comes back? Yeah, he should. He is that good. But it's unfortunate for Kiwi, but someone's going to get hurt. They're hurt right now. There might be a 3-game stretch where the Avalanche are healthy, like fully, completely, 100% healthy. Someone's going to take a shot. Someone's going to get banged up. I mean, we'll talk about Cale in a second here, but like at some point, someone's going to get banged up and Kiviranta's going to play. So I'm not worried about like this idea of like robbing him of a roster spot. He has a very important role on this team, and that is filling in when somebody comes out. The fact that you can have Yoel Kiviranta sitting around just waiting is a good thing. And the fact that you have Nicholas Waugh right now just sitting in the press box, just making sure you get him 100% healthy before you throw that demon back in the lineup is just another thing you've got going for you.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. It's just one of those ones, like you said, it's since 2022, we haven't had this luxury where you have too many good players playing in the lineup right now. And we've seen it throughout the playoff runs. There's always going to be a guy going down.
Like 2023, when you had Lars Eller playing on the second line. Imagine now you tell yourself back then you're going to be okay one day.
Yeah, it's all worth it to get to this point. And I'm excited to see because Parker Kelly's not coming out of the lineup. No shot.
Parker Kelly's not coming out. Jack Drury's not coming out.
Well, and I thought Jack Drury may have been like maybe an odd man out, maybe a surprise one with Waugh coming back, but he's turned it on the past couple games. You can't take him out of the lineup.
Not even a conversation. With Jack
it's not
Drury.
even a conversation now. But maybe like 2 weeks ago, you could have had like a conversation. It's not even a conversation now. It's just Kiviranta is the only one who isn't scoring goals, so he's going to be the one taken out of the lineup.
Yeah, because again, it's not going to be Ross Colton.
Nope.
It's not going to be Nazem Kadri. Also, we're not going to mention Colton a lot in this game. I do want to briefly give him his flowers. I thought he was pretty good. in this
Yeah,
game,
cool.
even if he's not going to really show up on the score sheet. Kadri's obviously not coming out.
Nope.
O'Connor's not coming out.
Nope.
Kelly has 18 goals, just needs 2 before the end of the year to hit 20. He is not coming out. Jack Drury has been arguably one of their best players on the team, over this brief stretch. He's not coming out. And that just unfortunately leaves Kiwi, who has done nothing wrong. It's unfortunate.
Absolutely nothing. So it's a good problem to have. I loved the fourth line tonight. I've loved the fourth line the past 2 weeks. They've been phenomenal. It's flashbacks of 22 where it's Cogliano, Helm, and O'Connor, and you're just like, yeah, these guys are just fucking rabid animals on the puck, and they don't give you a second to breathe. They're great defensively. They're chipping in offensively. There's not much else you want from your fourth line.
We could get through this playoff. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being better than 22, just based on how it's rolling right now. I mean, name me another team that has a fourth line rolling like this right now with this level of motion behind them at the moment, where you just that's not a fourth line. It is unfair to call that a fourth line.
It's a third line. The Avs have 2 third lines. It's a great problem to have. I wanted to give TV his flowers because he's probably going to be taken out of the lineup when Watt comes back. But man, that line, the Tasmanian Devil line that they're being called, insane. And you need that. Every Stanley Cup champion has to have a line that has a nickname. I don't know what it is. Every line has to have that.
Yeah.
Every team has to have one line.
Yeah, the HBK line. I mean, we talk about that 22 line of Helm, Cogliano, and Sturm, just rabid animals, monsters.
Rabid animals. But they were phenomenal. Another player who was absolutely great tonight, Nazem Kadri, 2 power play goals. I thought he was going to get the hat trick. He certainly tried for the hat trick a couple of times. Him on that power play, I didn't love the idea of Gabe being taken off the top power play unit, but then you see what Kadri does on that power play unit. You go, oh yeah, that's why I'm watching on the couch, and the guys sitting behind the bench make a lot more money than I do.
It's like, oh, that's better.
Yeah,
that's better. And it's been over this last stretch one of the best power plays in the league. And when you have this power play rolling like that, the 5-on-5 rolling like that, the penalty kill rolling like that, there's just not much else to do at that point. Your goaltending, Scott Wedgwood, great in this game again, even if he didn't need to be. No need to stretch your arm all the way like that to make that save in the third period of a 6-goal game. But he just does it anyway because he can. But
he does it anyway. And the 2 that beat him, I think he was pissed that he let those 2 go by him.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to make some great saves in this game, but again, it was so inconsequential. It's just good job, Wedgie. We appreciate you. We didn't really need you tonight. I do wonder, probably this wouldn't have happened. How long do you think the Avs could have gone with an empty net and still won that game? It's a really dumb question.
Probably longer than you would think, right?
Yeah. If they go empty net and just have 6 attackers on the ice, I think they make it. So let's say it's the start of the third period, they were up 6-1.
Yeah.
6-1. I think they could make it to at least the 10-minute mark with it being maybe a tie game at that point.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Probably. I mean, early in the game, if the Flames scored in every single shot, still would have been 3-3.
I mean, what else are you supposed to do if you're a Flame?
Right.
Nothing they could do. Nazem Kadri was great. Nathan McKinnon, I think it was Raj who maybe tweeted it, that the Avs are up 5-0 and McKinnon doesn't have a point yet.
Yeah. And then he took that personally and shot that puck in the second period like he hates it on the power play.
49 goals. I don't know 50 snuck up on me for him. For some reason, I thought he was still at 47. And they were saying 49. I was like, oh, yeah, we're right there. He's 3 away from passing his career high in goals. He needs every one of them right now with Cole Caulfield on his tail. But I think the Avs, they play the Flames and the Canucks 3 more times total. I feel pretty good he's going to get a couple goals in those games.
Yeah, I mean, McKinnon hits 120 points in this game as well. He's already 4 points better than he was last year in 7 less games. I mean, he would need 21 points in 10 games to beat his total from 23-24. But I'm not going to be the one that says he's not going to do that. So I'll just leave it there.
Well, that's the thing too, man. We faced the Flames and the Canucks 3 times. He could get 8 points in those games alone total.
I mean, their remaining schedule, once again, they still have the Flames twice. He loves to play the Blues, so
Love to play the Blues.
we got them twice too. He loves to play the Kraken. He's got them too. I mean,
He's not playing in that Kraken game.
No, but even still, one against the Canucks, 2 against the Flames, 2 against the Blues, 1 against the Kraken, 1 against Vegas, 1 against the Oilers, and 1 against Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, is he going to do it? I don't know. That's a lot of points, but it's also Nathan fucking MacKinnon. I'm not going to put anything past him.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like he's only 4 points back of McDavid. Like,
did McDavid retake Kucherov?
Yeah, it's 124 for McDavid, 121 for Kucherov, 120 right now for MacKinnon. And right now, MacKinnon 49 goals, Caulfield 46.
Yeah, just keep Cole Caulfield away from playing on Saturdays, and we'll be good.
Yeah,
we'll be good. But yeah, Nathan MacKinnon, he even ends with a goal and an assist, or did he have 2 assists?
In this game, MacKinnon finished. I believe he had the assist too. I want to say, right?
Yeah. I think he had the Natchez one, and then he had the Lehkonen assist. So he had 3.
He had 3 points. He had the goal, 2 assists in this game, and played under 20 minutes.
Yep. I mean, that was the thing too in that third period. Did the Flames just be like, hey, let's just give the Avs every odd man rush? I felt like the Avs were on an odd man rush every 5 seconds in that game.
I mean, at a certain point, your spirit's just broken, isn't it? I gave up 5 goals in the first period. I'm not fired up for the second.
No, and these are professionals. These are the best of the best, and it was a 2-on-1 every 5 seconds in this game for the Avs, and it's just such a sharp contrast from the Winnipeg Jets games where they were some of the most boring hockey games we've ever watched to this.
I mean, we didn't expect 9-2, but we did kind of talk about. I think they're gonna come out with a little bit of a fire, no pun not intended, against the Flames in this game. 9-2 just feels a little cruel, right? Just a little bit mean. Didn't have to do all that to them.
Well, we were talking about this too before we started recording. The Flames are only 7 points out of a playoff spot. In what world is that team that we just watched in the Calgary Flames 7 points out of a playoff spot? God forbid the Flames were going to be the 8th seed and the Avs face them in the first round. Do you even have to play the series?
No.
It's just, let's just skip past this. It's 4 games. It's over.
Nobody even wants this last spot right now. Right now, it's still Nashville holding it down with 77 points. They've lost 3 in a row. If you're going by the points percentage, it's Seattle by .001. They're 3-5-2 in their last 10. It's what about the Kings? They're 3-3-4 in their last 10. The Sharks are 3-6-1 in their last 10. The only team that seems to want it right now is the St. Louis Blues, who have won 4 in a row and are now 4 points back of that playoff spot.
Yeah, but they're getting pumped by the Sharks tonight, I think. They're down 4-2.
Is that game over?
I don't know if it's over, but I know the Sharks
are it's 4-3 Sharks at intermission.
Okay. So maybe not getting pumped, but it is just in what world is that Flames team even remotely close to a playoff spot?
I mean, they're the 4th worst team in the NHL. I think that just says more about the state of the West.
Yeah, it's just insane. And if their Flames are this bad, how bad are the Canucks going to be on Wednesday?
I mean, they can't be worse, right?
They can't be worse, but my God, it is just in. And how is the Pacific Division? How are these teams not running away with the division with how bad the rest of the Pacific Division is?
I have no idea.
It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense.
It looks like Anaheim's probably going to win this game against Toronto to bring them to a grand 88 points before they wrap this thing up, which would put them, where are the Oilers on here? It would put them 5 points ahead of the Oilers. What are we doing here?
What a joke.
What are we doing here?
What else from this game? We brought the power play. Well, we can talk about Cale Makar. Left after the second period, didn't come out for the third period, upper body injury, going to be reevaluated tomorrow. I want to be worried, but also it feels like this is just we're in the ultimate, hey, Cale, if you're not 100% and you're 95%, just sit out.
Right. It's it seems like that hit with, I think it was Kepke or Klapka, was it?
Yeah, Klapka.
Yeah, Klapka. Happened, just kind of got mixed up with him, with the trainers on the bench for a second. why would you put him back out there in a
Yeah.
6-1, 7-1 game? He might not play against Vancouver because, well, why?
Why? Yeah.
Why? Like, what is really the point of risking anything? Like, it might be bad. We don't know. There's the voice in the back of my head being like, it could be really bad. He could be missing a lot of time and it happened in a pointless game. But like, considering the circumstances, I don't know why you would put him back out there.
Right. Like I mean, the fact he went out and took 2 more shifts after that.
And then assisted on the McKinnon goal before he went out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, part of me is a little worried, but also like, if it was something serious, I feel like we'd know about it by now.
Right. I mean, there's another part of me that's like, well, Bednar says he's going to be reevaluated tomorrow. He might miss a game or two. Like, it's just, I don't know. My panic radar's not going off here.
No, like I said, I feel like if it was something serious, I was trying to catch up on Twitter while we were looking at it. Nothing else really came out
I don't
about
think we're not going to get anything tonight.
Not going to get anything about it. I just think we're in that point of the season where if a guy even has like a bruise, they're going to be like, hey, man, just sit down. We're good.
I mean, because like right now they are 8 points up on Dallas with the game in hand and the tiebreaker. So again, might as well be 9 points. Their magic number to clinch is only 8 points now. It was 10 points before this game. They get 2 points. They only need to win 4 games or have Dallas lose 4 games. Any combination of those will clinch them the Central, the President's Trophy, and the West. At that point, they have a game against Dallas. I mean, that game is still, that's on the 4th. How many games do they have before that still? 1.
3.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, too. You still have 3 more games against, like I said, Vancouver and Calgary. That should be 3 wins right there, and the Stars will lose 1.
Right.
So, like, it is, we're getting to the point where, what was it in 22? Like, they wrapped up everything with like 3 weeks left in the regular season.
It feels that way, didn't
like,
it?
It could like, be in that exact same spot.
It was like 2.5 weeks of just, let's wrap this thing up. We're done.
Yeah. Like, we're getting dangerously close to that territory, and it's going to be, I mean, that Dallas game is going to be important, and that Edmonton game will be important. But after that, we might as well just be like, it's going to be, everyone's going to be pressing the panic meter because they're going to lose some games, and they're going to be like, oh, they're going in cold. And it's just like, all right, we're right back in 2022.
Yeah. I mean, Dallas still has 2 games before they play the Avs. They play Boston tonight by the time you're hearing this, and Winnipeg on Thursday before they play the Avs. The Avs only play the Canucks. I mean, not out of the realm of possibility that the Stars could lose those games and the Avs beat the Canucks. There is a world they could clinch against Dallas if all 3 of those results go their way. But even if they don't, if they just beat Dallas, that number is down to 4, isn't it? Just by that alone, right?
Yep. It was fun freaking out. What was it, like a week and a half ago, where we were like, oh my God, they're going to get, and now we're a week and a half later, and it's like, yeah, they pretty much can get this wrapped up by the weekend potentially.
Not out of the realm of possibility that they could get there with that much time left and with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left.
Yeah. It's just, hell yeah, let's go. We're going to be having some really fun podcasts going forward. But I did want to ask you, this game was on Amazon Prime in Canada. That's why the start time was 6:30, which I know it's not a terrible time for a game to start. It was just weird. A 6:30.
Yeah, it just felt kind of off.
Yeah, it was just off. And again, I realized that 6:30 is a very normal time to start a hockey game, and there's fans all over the world. I already got roasted once this year for complaining about hockey start times. I'm not trying to get roasted again. But it was just different. But also, we got the Mark Rycroft couldn't be in between the benches like he normally is because Amazon Prime took that over. So we got a rare insight into the production side of it. And for me, like, I do find that stuff a little bit interesting. But for you, who works in that field, were you having like PTSD, like thinking you were at work watching that?
I didn't enjoy it. I'll say that. Because like production trucks, and Rycroft said it at the end too, is like everyone needs to be so in sync all the time. If I was on that set, I would be having an aneurysm. Like,
Oh yeah, I can only imagine.
I do not have time to take care of this right now. I need to be locked in. I need to be basically performing at 100% at all times. Like I would like not saying people weren't having fun. They all know each other and everything like that.
Yeah.
They're all friends there. But like I would be having an aneurysm with that. It's like I'm trying to focus here, man.
Like imagine trying to do your job, and like you said, it's a very difficult job, and you have a guy in there just being like, "Hey, what button?"
Oh, what's this button do? Oh, let me do the replay thing real quick. Let me roll the replay thing. Like I like you would see me on that shot, my eyes would be twitching. Like,
Well, and like here's the thing too. I imagine most producers and people who work in that field are very controlling
yes,
and don't
they
like
have.
having to explain themselves. Yeah, they have to be. Like it was the only thing I didn't like about it was you could hear the producer talking of which camera to take, and it was cutting off Mosier. And I was like, that was the only thing I didn't like about that broadcast because I thought it was a fun little insight. And then they kept doing like the cutaway in the middle of a play.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I did not like that. I was like, why are we cutting away right now? Like the game is going on.
That was a poor broadcast choice. This should have been an intermission segment. Like
Yeah.
they could have recorded it at the time and then ran it in intermission.
Yeah, I just was I texted you about it because I was just like, I can't imagine like the producer who literally his job is to produce content and stuff like that, having to have like someone basically be like me following you around at work, being like, "Hey man, what are you doing? Can
Yeah,
can I hold the camera? Okay, cool. What does this button do? I can only just imagine.
This one controls the RoboCam. This one controls the RoboCam on the ice. Can I mess with that real quick? Like,
Oh, you would have you like we are really good friends. I think you would have killed me.
I would have bit you if you
Yeah.
if you would have put your hand near my controller. I would have bit you.
Yeah, it would have been bad. It would have been a very, very interesting thing.
It was
yeah.
fun. Like I thought it was a fun segment, and it was kind of
And just
fun.
a 92 hockey game. Who gives a shit? But it was just the only thing I was thinking the entire time was like, oh man, Griffin is probably like scratching his face right now with how
I stopped watching them at a certain point. I was just like, this is just going to give me flashbacks and upset me, so I'm just gonna ignore it.
Yeah. So and this is a dumb production question. Like, so the cameras, like, they probably have how many cameras do you think in those games? 10?
Oh, I couldn't even give you a get. Probably if I had to ballpark it, like 15.
So do each one have a specific thing they're supposed to be watching, or are all of them following the puck at all times?
No, only like maybe 3 of them will follow the puck. So like my main thing is football. I did football a lot. I've actually never done a hockey production, but when I did this stuff, when I would run camera, there would be 3 cameras during 20-yard segments. So if I was at center field, I would cover it from the 30-yard lines inward.
Okay.
Once it gets to the other end zone, once it gets beyond that 30-yard line, that camera covers that. But then you'd also have cameras down on the field, guys covering the benches. Like, you know how you get like guys who are basically just shooting the coaches at all times? You see like their immediate reactions to stuff like that. Those are guys that are basically just, that's their job all night, is to just stay on coach so we can get any good reactions. Camera 9, roll that on B, and just that's their job basically for the night. Where
that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't imagine just having like, and again, Mark Rycroft is hilarious, and we love Mark Rycroft, but he's kind of a goofball, and him being in there would have probably driven
some of the funniest people I've ever met are in that field, because you have to be funny because it's stressful shit. And sometimes you got to break the tension because people fuck up sometimes. So if you fuck up and you're not funny, you're screwed, because that's step 2. That's the recovery right there. You can slip and fall, but you got to be funny and break it up. Be like, sorry guys, I was drunk or something. Like, sorry guys, I fell asleep or whatever.
Yeah,
like
it'd be great. So yeah, I saw a lot of people being like, "This is dumb." I was like, "Hey, who cares? It's 92."
Like I just didn't like it was happening during the game.
Yeah,
that I thought the segments were fun and fine. And anything like my issues with it are personal. Like those are personal beefs of just I don't need that.
Here's the thing: I think we'd have a totally different tune if the Avs didn't win 9-2.
Yes, if that was like happening during like the Stars game,
we would have been.
People would be like, "Turn this shit off right now."
Here's the thing: Altitude probably knew that game was going to be a blowout, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's have some fun."
Yeah, let's have some. Again, like you said, there's 82 games in a season. Let's have some fun here. We have 2 more games against Calgary before the end of the season. Let's have some fun. Let's just do a little thing there. It's a second period of a 5-1 game. Like, it's not doesn't really matter.
Who cares? But other than that, I don't really have much else from this game other than that was
fun.
amazing. That was really fun. And we've had that probably 10 or 15 times this year, maybe even more, where it's just like, okay, I don't really need to pay attention to this game as in depth as I usually do.
It was just so amazing to see like just the variety of goal scorers and producers in this
Yeah.
game, where you go through the list of Jack Drury, Nazem Kadri twice, Landeskog, Kelly, McKinnon, Natchez, Malinsky, Lehkonen. I mean, the amount of guys who have points in this game is probably quicker to name the guys who didn't, right?
Probably.
Yeah, the guys who didn't: Ross Colton, Logan O'Connor, Yoel Kiviranta, Devon Tays, Kulak, Manson, and Burns. Everyone else had at least a point.
Damn. I do want a game where just every player factors in, like every player gets a point. I don't know if that's possible, but that'd be cool.
And they didn't get to 10, right?
No.
Little disappointed.
Just little disappointed. Little disappointed.
They always get 9. Like everyone always gets 9 in these high scoring games. Nobody gets 10.
No one gets 10. It would have felt mean if they got 10, but also I've seen a Canadian team do that to the Avs where I think didn't the Canadians beat the Avs like 11-1 one game? Am I remembering that right?
It was at least 10. I don't know if it was 11, but it was definitely 10.
It was bad. That was a bad game. And I remember watching that and I was like, why do I do this to myself? And here we are like 8 years later and I'm like, worth it.
Didn't the Flames do that like 13 years ago or something?
So which one?
The Flames, didn't they do that to the Avs in what, 2011 or 12?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I basically from 2006 to 2013, we had a blip where they were good in 2013, and then 14 and 15 they were ass. You kind of just like those years are kind of a blur to me with the Avs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're obviously in this generation now. So yeah, it's good to always win those games. I'm excited for, I don't know if I'm excited for the rest of these games against these teams, but also it's an easy win, rack up some points. Stat pad, do it.
Yeah, I mean, the Avs, they just love playing Canadian teams sometimes. Correct me if I'm wrong, their biggest wins have been against Canadian teams, right?
Yeah, they beat the Senators, what, 8-1?
It was 8-2 against the Senators, 9-1 over the Oilers. 7-2 over Montreal. And yeah, you had the 8-2 over Ottawa. I don't think they've scored over 7 since then, right? Yeah, and then 9-2 over Calgary today. The only other time they scored more than 7 was the one we went to against New Jersey, the 8-4 game.
That was a fun game. Game. Yeah, they're just when that offense is going, you can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. And man, like we can wrap up this game. I felt bad for Victor Olofsson, man.
I mean, how can you not just be destroyed for the guy right now? Like this is it for him. Like this is the last bit of dignity he had left. Like he's on the Avs, very real shot of winning this year, being on the best team that lost 2 games in regulation halfway through the season. Then he gets traded to Calgary, where they're fighting for draft lottery spots right now. And then first game against the Avs back in Ball Arena, it is over before you can blink, and they're down 5-0. He got a point though, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, I think he got a point.
Yeah, I think he got a point on that second goal.
Yeah. Just release him, Calgary. Let him come back and just be an extra for the Avs.
Yeah, right. Why not? Yeah, he got the secondary assist on the Ryan.
All right, good for him.
He left there with something, right?
Yeah. Oof. Not a lot though. Not a lot. Hopefully he's this year's version of Tyson Jost, where you just go, damn, I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, but let's move on. Wednesday against Vancouver, a team that is somehow significantly worse than Calgary. They were up 2-1 on Vegas, which we will talk about Vegas here in a second.
It is 3-2 Vegas early in the third.
3-2 Vegas. Okay, so they bounce back a little bit. I think the Avs may have another performance where I don't know if they score 9 again.
I'm not going to sit here and expect a 9-goal game, but 5 probably. Yeah.
5 seems about fair.
Yeah, I mean the Canucks, like they're done. Like they just lost to this Calgary team. Do you remember this game? Like the score?
No, what happened in it?
It was 7-3 Calgary.
Oh,
game. And right now, like they're going toe to toe with the Golden Knights, the John Tortorella Golden Knights, which we'll talk about here in a second. What a sentence! But yeah, they have not been good. Their last win was March 17th over Florida. Since then, they've lost 6-2 to Tampa, 3-1 to St. Louis, 5-3 to Anaheim, 4-0 to LA, 7-3 to Calgary. You cannot, in good faith, predict the Canucks to win this game.
No, I mean, I'm going to say if they do beat the Avs, it's the biggest upset of the year.
100. It's the best team in the league versus the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Like it does not get more lopsided than this.
How mad is the city of Vancouver going to be if they don't win the draft lottery?
I just think they're in a perpetual. I think they're past anger at this point. Like at a certain point, the anger burns out, and you've just been so beaten down for so long. You just expect it at this point, right?
Yeah, but also it's like they're so bad. So bad.
I mean, the draft lottery I just ran on Tankathon had Calgary win it.
Oh,
They lost both to Chicago and Calgary gets the top overall pick. Vancouver gets third.
that's so mean.
What are they going to do with Elias Pettersson, man?
I don't know. I'm trying to see what the betting odds are on FanDuel. Oh my God. Take a guess at what the Avs are.
Minus 300.
Minus 550.
Oh my God. For a hockey game, that is crazy. That is that is 3 versus 14 in March Madness.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, that game's gonna be gross. I don't expect the Avs to score 9 goals. I do think they're going to win the game comfortably. I'll give the Canucks 1. I think it's 5-1.
Oh, I'll say 6-1 to be different, right?
Like I will be utterly shocked if the Avs lose that game.
I mean, you have to be. Like it's the team with 50 points going up against a team with 108.
Yeah.
If the Canucks were double as good as they are now, they would still be 8 points back.
Yeah, that game's gonna get ugly. It's gonna be bad, and I just want everyone to get healthy because Evander Kane plays for the Canucks. So we just everyone's safe, everyone's healthy.
1,000th game tonight.
Cool, good for him.
I mean, good for him. The Avs have played 2 games against the Canucks this year. The first one was the 5-4 game, the Gavin Brindley, the birth of the mythos of Gavin Brindley in that game. And then the Avs won the next one 3-1 in Colorado.
Yeah, the game's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
That game's going to get really ugly. But I'm excited for it. And yeah, we'll be back before the Stars game on Saturday to talk about it. But before we move to the NHL news, I think we got a quick ad we need to run.
Yes, we do. We have a quick word from our sponsors. We will be back in 30 seconds.
Golf season is here, and Denver Golf Passes make it easier than ever to play. Start your golf journey with Learn and Play 1.0. 5 clinics, 5 rounds, 5 buckets. Already playing? Take your game up a level with Learn and Play 2.0. Or grab the Friends and Family Pass. 20 par 3 rounds and 30 mini golf or range sessions. And for new players wanting reps, the Practice and Play Pass gives you 10 rounds and 15 range buckets. Find the pass that fits your game. Visit cityofdenvergolf.com.
Now, before we jump into the rest of the NHL talk, the Avs tweeted out a very interesting stat that I'm just seeing for the first time. I don't know if you've seen this, but the Avalanche just tweeted, with the win tonight, we have become the 4th team in the NHL since 1995 to have beaten every team in the league in a season.
What?
Yeah. They have at least 1 win over everybody. No one will have swept them by the end of the year because they hadn't played. They haven't played Calgary.
Only since 1995?
Since 1995, they are the 4th team in the NHL to have beaten every team in the league in a season.
It feels like that should happen way more often.
You only play teams in the East twice. You have a bad stretch against the teams in the East.
Yes.
Like, because you think about it, every other team, 31 other teams, you got to beat every single one of them once. And that gets to be a real problem against the East because you only play them twice. Like, would not have been a surprise. Like if they'd lost both to Pittsburgh over the last month, then this wouldn't have happened. And then also relies on, well, you got to lose 3 games to a Pacific team or lose all of them to a Central opponent. Like when you really think about it, like the odds of not getting at least 1 win against every team is a lot lower than you'd think.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like that would happen way more often, but that's an insane stat.
You think about it, like that's half the league that you only play twice. Like it's
Insane.
like the Islanders. Like if we had just
they
lost,
not do it in 22. Who did they lose to twice in 20? They lost twice to Boston, didn't they? In 22.
No, they beat Boston in overtime. The land.
Yeah, that's right. Because that was the McKinnon one. Now I got to figure out which one they lost to twice.
Was it Carolina?
No, because they beat Carolina at home that year.
We will solve this mystery.
Yeah, because now I want to know who it was.
October
No,
2021.
was it Nashville? I don't know if they beat Nashville.
No, they beat Nashville once. So did they beat Florida at any point? Because they lost that first one in October. And where do we go after this? East opponents. Columbus.
That's right. They did lose both to Columbus.
Yes, the Columbus ones, because that was a home and home.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
That was before Taves came back.
Yes, that was very, very early in the season.
Yeah. So insane. My mind's kind of blown by that. But I also did breaking news too. I sent this to you. It's not really breaking news. I think it was Pierre LeBrun said, barring the Avs losing in the first round, sounds like Jared Bednar is going to get an extension. And all I said back to you was, no duh. Crazy concept that Bednar's going to get an extension.
Yeah, one of the best coaches in the NHL. They are good year over year. They have Stanley Cup aspirations. Every single year, they have 108 points right now in 73 games and are cruising past the rest of the NHL at the moment. And like should not come as a surprise. Again, if you want Jared Bednar fired, like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, don't know what to tell you. Like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
like
it's
very clear. Very clear. The players like Jared Bednar, and they don't want him to go.
Yeah, you have a bunch of guys come in from around the league and immediately get better, and you have guys that are able to come in from the AHL and contribute. They have such a clear system. The guys clearly like him. They have success. They have won, as much as people want to pretend that they haven't for some reason. They have won with this guy behind the bench to the second round. They won. They have literally won. So unless they face one of the most shocking upsets in the first round this year, like this should not come as a surprise.
Yeah, shouldn't come as a surprise. But I just wanted to break that news to you. And speaking of coaches, we got the bombshell. Was that yesterday? It feels like it was 5 days ago at this point.
It was on Sunday at this point. If you don't know the news at this point, you will never guess like what it is. Where it felt like a Mad Lib, honestly. Do you remember like that? There was this old account where it was like NHL rumor, like it was like a Mad Libs basically. It just like put in like a bunch of bullshit randomly generated NHL rumors. This felt like that, where the Vegas Golden Knights fired Bruce Cassidy and hired John Tortorella. In 2026, the Vegas Golden Knights hired John Tortorella and fired Bruce Cassidy to do it.
Insane.
Of all of the panic moves I have ever seen in my entire life, I am hard pressed to think of a bigger one. The only I'm going to start off with the only justification I can think of is that John Tortorella has a very, very short shelf life. However, in the very short shelf life that he has, he can get a lot in a very short period of time before his message wears thin very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, he can produce. He has a shorter shelf life than Peter Laviolette. Like his shelf life is shorter than that. But for 8 months, it could work.
It's also just like for this Vegas team, this one right now, you're gonna fire Bruce Cassidy for a short-term investment for a team that has 80 points right now, for a team with horrific goaltending, for a team that has horrific finishing. You're going to pin all that on the coach, the guy that's won Jack Adams, the guy that won you a Stanley Cup. Like, I know Vegas is very ruthless with their business, but there's a difference between ruthless and panicking.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been very funny if it was Peter DeBoer going back there.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
That would have made a lot more sense. It's 2026. Like, I just don't understand the need for John Tortorella coaching your team anymore. It just feels like we've progressed so far beyond the need for that. Good coach, Stanley Cup winning coach, good for the times that he was in. Like he doesn't have that pull anymore. And I think he could get those results in the short periods of times after he was in Columbus, just because like he had that sway. Like he had, I've won a Stanley Cup. I was a long tenured and pretty successful coach in Columbus. Like not a total disaster all the time. But since then, he's just kind of come off as a bit of a goof, right? Like just kind of like kind of performative in a way, or just like you are just being mule headed on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those ones too where I just, like you said, I don't know if I agree with if the Knights were like in the Avs or like Stars position where they're comfortably in the playoffs and it's a good team, they have a chance to win a cup, and you're just not liking the way they're performing, maybe you could talk me into that. But like you said, this is an 80-point team. It's not like this team has any chance of winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Any.
Vegas has done that. They did this with Gerard Gallant.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Who did they bring? Was that DeBoer right after that they brought
They
in?
hired DeBoer, and then they fired DeBoer and brought in Cassidy.
Which season was this? Was this the COVID year?
Gallant was the year. It was the COVID year where they went in the bubble, and then DeBoer came in because he beat the Avs in the COVID shortened season in the second round.
Yeah, so like this is not an unprecedented thing for them to do in Vegas's history, where Gallant took them to the Stanley Cup final in their first year. They blew that 3-1 lead to the Sharks. Then they just weren't very good for a good portion of their third year, and then just canned them in the middle of the year and brought in DeBoer. I don't know. It's just like I have a lot of respect for Bruce Cassidy as a coach. I'll admit I have not kept up with the internal drama with the Vegas Golden Knights over the season, so I just don't know if he wasn't meshing with any of the guys. I mean, to be fair, Vegas management has invested a lot in this team and spent a lot of future assets on this team and a lot of money on this team. So for them to be in the worst division we've ever seen and for them to be the biggest frauds out of all of them, you can kind of see where they're coming from with a move like this. But a lot of it is really pinned on their horrific goaltending.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Aiden Hill got hot for one season and he's regressed back to what he was. Like, he's a mediocre backup. And then his backup is Schmid. Is it Akira Schmid still?
I think so.
Yeah. And then what happened? Is Carter Hart still around?
Hope not.
Yeah, I haven't heard his name in a while. Like it's terrible goaltending. Their decor, that Pietrangelo injury/retirement is a lot bigger deal than I think people realize. Rasmus Anderson plays for them now. I forgot that happened. Did Martinez retire after last season too? Alec Martinez retired?
That sounds right.
But he was on Chicago at that point, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, so he was gone.
They traded Zach Whitecloud. They still have Brady McNabb. Like it's a turnover in their team, but also it's just not very well built at this point. Like they went all in, they won a cup. Like you can never, banners fly forever, but it's just not a very good team right now. It just isn't.
Yeah, I mean they made the move for Noah Hannafin and everything, and like they've done like Rasmus Anderson as well, which we'll see if that even works out for them this year. I mean, they brought in Mitch Marner. Like they make all these moves.
The team should be significantly better than what they are.
Right. Like the Vegas Golden Knights should not have 80 points right now. Like that is absolutely ridiculous. And they lost 12 of their last 16 games under Cassidy. I mean, there's some of quotes from players in the locker room where Mark Stone said sometimes it can take a new voice. I think the locker room had gone a little stale. We weren't playing with that emotion that we normally do. I think you saw when we played Edmonton, we played a rival team. There's energy. We haven't been bringing ourselves into the fights. Eichel said it could be a wake-up call. It's just like, I don't know. Like it just is such a strange move. Like, because what if they lose in the first round still to Edmonton? You're like, well, yep, Tort's got it next year with these guys, right?
He's getting the run next year for sure.
You have to. You just hired the guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's not the interim coach, right? He's just the coach.
No, he is the full-on head coach.
Yeah. Like I'm very interested because Bruce Cassidy's going to get another job. Like I think he's very deserving of another job. I don't know where he's going to go, but he's going to probably be the coach. Like, where does he go? Where does he land?
I mean, really any number of teams, Vancouver, Toronto.
I wouldn't hate him in New Jersey.
I was just about to say New Jersey.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate him in New Jersey.
I wouldn't.
But also, why would you want to go there? But yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights, very weird move, very surprising. Just a weird time to do a Sunday news dump. Like usually you do that on like a Friday before everyone goes to work, but like a Sunday news dump for that was insane.
It's just like it's such a departure from conventional NHL wisdom. Like there's 8 games left. I mean, let's give them a shot, right? I don't know. The Oilers don't have good goaltending. It's a good roster. I don't know. Maybe Cassidy could have figured it out in the playoffs, and after that, you can fire him. But I don't know. Like it just was just such a bizarre, out of nowhere move that you've just really never seen before. And right now, they're up on Vancouver 1 goal with 5 minutes left. So a shot that they win that game. You can let's look at their remaining schedule here. They have Calgary on Thursday, Edmonton in Edmonton on Saturday, Vancouver, Seattle, Colorado, Winnipeg, Seattle. Like it's not a tough schedule.
No.
So you could be like, well, they win a lot of these games to end the season and they go in a little hot and then they get some confidence back or something. Like it is a ruthless move, and they're going to do the same thing to John Tortorella. Wouldn't surprise me, like if Tortorella's fired halfway through next season.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's Vegas. Like if they're not going to get results out of the guy, they're just going to can him. Like you can almost say this move is just made for the final 8 games in the playoffs this year. And then if it's not working out at the 40-game mark next year, they're going to can him and hire someone else.
Yep.
Because that's how they do it.
Come on down. Yeah. Peter DeBoer, come on back down. But that is just what Vegas does. Another not surprise firing, not nearly as much. Brad Treliving out as GM of the Maple Leafs. And
why? What happened?
Yeah, he's tough one for him. Tough one for him because that's 2 teams he's probably ruined for a long time. Like Calgary's done a decent job getting out from under it, I'd say.
They are still a ways away.
Yeah, they're still a ways away, but he did crazy damage to the Flames. He left them in an utter shit show, and he's going to leave the Maple Leafs in an utter shit show too, but he'll probably still get another job.
I mean, right now, the Maple Leafs would have the 6th overall pick if they did not already send it to the Boston Bruins last year. Like, of all teams, you sent it to the Boston Bruins last year. And so they are having this horrible, no good season where they're going to be eliminated from playoff contention officially, probably like tomorrow or the end of the week at this point. And they're going to get nothing out of it. You want me to read you a little list of some trades that Brad Treliving made during his list? He got a 5th round pick for Sam Lafferty. Okay. Ilya Lyubushkin for picks in the 3rd and 6th round.
Yep.
Right. Joel Edmondson at 50% retained for picks in the 3rd and 5th round. Not good.
Not good.
Connor Dewar for 4th round pick and Dmitry Ovechnikov.
I didn't know Connor Dewar was still in the league.
Matt Benning and 3rd and 6th round picks for Timothy Liljegren.
Timothy Liljegren's still kicking it, isn't he?
He is with the Caps now.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Scott Lawton and picks in the 4th and 6th round for a 1st round pick and Nikita Grabenkin.
Oof.
That sucked.
That's bad. That's real bad.
5th round pick for Dewar and Connor Timmins.
Okay.
Yep. Brandon Carlo for Fraser Minton and picks in the 1st and 4th round.
Yeah, Fraser Minton looks pretty solid.
And now probably if the Maple Leafs don't get work, I think it's top 5 protected.
Top 5 protected,
The Leafs, they got to start losing. They just came back to tie this game against the Ducks. No, stop. Yeah. Stop. Don't do something right for once and lose actually. But that Carlo trade is an absolute killer.
Yeah. And Carlo's not a bad player. He's a good player. It's just he's going to be marred by that trade for the rest of his Maple Leaf tenure.
He's not even close to the value of that deal. Maciej Michelli for a 3rd round pick. Just nothing. And then Nick Waugh for Mitch Marner in the sign and trade.
Yeah, I mean, at least you turned Nick Waugh into a 1st, but that 1st is going to be like pick 29.
I think that's less about the trade and more just the Mitch Marner situation as a whole, as to how did it ever ever get to that point where you only got Nick Waugh in exchange for Mitch Marner. Henry Thrun for Ryan Reeves, Dakota Joshua for a 4th round pick.
Oof. But they got bigger and stronger.
And look where it got them. I mean, just an absolute list of nothing and horrible trades.
Say what you will about Kyle Dubas. There's never been a more clear winner of the breakup than Kyle Dubas.
Yeah. I mean, Dubas was dunked on for a couple years in Pittsburgh, where it looked like he made some pretty bad. But if you took away his first year as GM in Pittsburgh, he's actually done a pretty great job.
Yeah.
It's just his first couple moves were so mind-bafflingly horrible that they tied anchors around his ankles immediately. But
then he got off of him. Like, he got off of Tristan Jarry, and got picks for it. And got a better goalie.
And upgraded in net and got Stuart Skinner back. He hasn't been able to get out from Ryan Graves, unfortunately. And the Erik Karlsson thing really just hasn't worked.
But it's not been bad.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse for Erik Karlsson.
And you know what? With this win against the Islanders, they're going to make the playoffs this year. That significantly increased their chance of making the playoffs. They have their first 2 seconds this year and a third. They have their first next year, 2 seconds, 2/3 the year after that. In 2028, they have their first 3 seconds and 2/3.
It's a pretty damn good job, man.
It's a pretty good job. Pretty good job.
Yeah.
You take a guy out of Toronto, you put him somewhere else, and you let him do his fucking job, and give it a second. Looks like it turns out pretty well.
Yeah, amazing. It's a crazy concept.
I wouldn't give him an A, but he's done a good job in Pittsburgh, and Toronto has been
he didn't do a bad job in Toronto. I don't feel like the teams he put together were pretty solid. It's just
he really made mistakes in Toronto. I'm not going to sit here and argue that, but I feel like it just got so toxic at a certain point when it came down to the analytics discussions and everything. It became such a pointless conversation where it was just this is why analytics don't work because the Maple Leafs keep losing. It's okay, well, that's not an analytics exclusive thing that the Maple Leafs keep losing.
That's just a Maple Leafs thing, then.
Yeah.
You knew here?
Right.
But yeah, just some crazy news getting broken before April in the NHL. And it does kind of draw focus away from the fact we got some absolute bangers of games coming up in these next couple of weeks. Because even though the Avs will probably have everything locked up by the end of the week, potentially, there's some bangers tonight, especially. We got your Caps versus the Flyers, which is an elimination game for the Caps. They lose that game, they're done. Yeah,
this is an absolutely massive game in the Eastern Conference. Stars Bruins.
There's a theme here. The majority of these are Eastern Conference games.
Yeah. It feels like every Eastern Conference game that doesn't involve the Rangers or the Devils is just an absolutely massive game.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The Rangers and Devils play each other tomorrow night.
Yeah, exactly.
So you start the night, Stars versus Bruins, where that's very big for the Avs. You want the Bruins to win that game. Follow it up, Islanders and Sabres. Massive game for both of those teams.
Yep.
Oh, and then not to go any farther, you got the Canadiens versus the Lightning, which we were talking about this off air. The Canadiens are 4 points back in the division.
I've been thinking, I kind of want that in the first round more than anything.
Canadiens Lightning?
Canadiens Lightning. That's a fun matchup.
That is a fun series.
That is a fun
Good
series.
Little Stanley Cup rematch, final rematch.
Yeah, random Stanley Cup final of all time. But I just with the way those two are right now, I still think Tampa wins, obviously. But
it'd be fun though.
That's a fun and very toxic first round matchup.
Yes. Very toxic. And then Senators Panthers is a big game for the Senators.
Huge game for the Senators.
Huge game for the Senators. Rangers Devils, we don't care. Red Wings Penguins. Huge. Probably the Red Wings, if they lose that game, I just think they're done. I think they're done.
Not mathematically done, but that's a huge blow. Penguins second half of a back-to-back. If they beat the Islanders and Detroit back-to-back nights, they're in.
Well, no, Crosby's still out, Malkin's out. Come on, what are we doing here? Red Wings, you need to win that game. We talked about the Flyers, Capitals. Also, just insane that the Flyers and Capitals have the same amount of wins, but again, wait.
You know who they had the same amount of wins as?
The Vegas Golden Knights,
the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah,
Washington, Philly, and Pittsburgh all have 37 points or 37 wins, but the Penguins have 16 loser points.
Yep.
Can we get rid of this shit?
Insane. Followed up, ESPN Plus game on Hulu, Hurricanes versus Blue Jackets. Massive game for the Blue Jackets, who have lost 2 in a row, like 2 heartbreaking games in a row against the Canadiens and the Bruins. Massive game for them. You have the Jets and the Blackhawks. Big game for the Blackhawks, or the Jets, excuse me. They still have a chance. Like the way we talked about with the Western Conference, like they aren't dead. They need to win that one. And in the night, you got Kraken versus the Oilers.
Which is kind of a big game.
Massive
right?
game.
Like
Massive.
for Seattle, that's huge for them to get in. Edmonton, like they can close the gap on Anaheim a little bit because the Toronto Maple, they just tied it. Anaheim just tied it with a minute left at 4-4.
Wow, okay.
Get up and go watch that. But like they're both going to get a point out of that game. Like every game outside of like 2.
Yeah, every game. No, I really think every game outside the Devils and Rangers has massive playoff implications.
Yeah. It's like let's look at Wednesday is not much. The Blues and the Kings is pretty important though.
Yeah, Blues and Kings is a massive game, but it's just like you look at that. Like, is this probably going to be one of the best days of hockey of the year? Like, I'm
let's look at Thursday.
I only have 4 TVs. What am I going to do? I only have 4. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, Thursday's also massive games.
This is what I was saying when we were in studio. Like, this season has been so good. Every playoff race is so close and so tight right now. You look at all of these games, they all have such massive implications. We can run through these a little quick again. Sabres, Senators, massive. Penguins, Lightning, massive. Bruins and Panthers is not as massive. The Bruins feel a little secure, but like still huge for their seeding. Canadians, Rangers, huge for their seeding. Red Wings, Flyers, massive game. The Blue Jackets and Hurricanes play again. If the Capitals beat the Flyers, they have the Devils after that. That's a huge game for them. The Jets, like if they get any kind of points against the Stars, like they're very much in that conversation. Yeah. And like,
did you scroll all the way to the bottom for the last game of the day?
Yeah.
That is Predators Kings. Like you talk about, that is a massive game, but also both those teams stink. They both stink.
But the winner of that game, when we get to the end of the season, that could very well be the team that is in the wild card by like the difference of a point that could very well be gotten in that game.
Yeah, Mammoth Kraken, massive game in the night as well too.
Huge game. Like these are all huge. I can't remember a stretch like this where you just look at a game, a night of like 10 games, and 80% of them you can classify as massive games.
The only thing I'm not liking, and I get why the NHL had to do this. Why are we doing this? The Flyers play the Red Wings on Thursday, and then they have a back-to-back in New York against the Islanders the day after.
This is what I've been saying. Like I've just been complaining from a central perspective. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. Stop forcing teams to do that for huge divisional games. Huge divisional games. I don't think you should ever be playing a team in your division on the second half of a back-to-back unless they're also on a back-to-back.
I agree.
I think that is complete bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, this whole week, I can't wait to watch hockey, man. I fucking love hockey.
Like, and just look at Saturday real quick. We got 15 games on. How many of these are huge? Red Wings, Rangers. I'd classify that as maybe not huge, but like important. Wild, Senators, it's important. Avs, Stars. It's like it's not as big as these other games in terms of standing implications, but like that's the best game you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Bruins.
I just love the fact. I love the fact I got Avs Stars at 1 p.m. and then I get to watch my Michigan Wolverines in the Final Four at night. I get to I get to watch both. Don't have to worry about it.
Bruins, Lightning, huge. Panthers, Penguins, huge. Canadians, Devils, huge for the Canadians. Capitals, Sabres, huge. Islanders, Hurricanes, huge. Jets and Blue Jackets, big for both sides. Like again, that's an East versus West, and it's huge for both of them in that game. And running through the rest of it here, Mammoth Canucks. For the Mammoth, it's important.
Yep.
Important for the Kings against the Maple Leafs. Golden Knights, Oilers, huge. Predators, Sharks, pretty big.
Yep.
Like bunch of these games, just absolute heaters.
I remember when we thought San Jose was dead like 2 days ago. Like they're very much alive.
Yeah, they're a lot. I think that they won that game against St. Louis.
They did win.
Yeah, did they win in regulation? They did. Wow. How did that happen? So
that's huge.
That's a massive result for them. That puts them at 75, ties them with Seattle, and they have 2 games in hand on Nashville too. But again, Like they've won 2 in a row. And now they're right back in it. They're right back in it. Because
now we got to start worrying about San Jose again. Like it's just hockey, man. Hockey.
It's like the percentages are going to point to Nashville, but like I've got no fucking clue.
I got no earthly idea.
I've got no clue. And
like here's the thing: the West is bad. At least it's going to be fun to watch to the end.
It's
like that Seattle-Colorado game will mean nothing to Colorado, but could be everything for Seattle.
It could be like a franchise-defining game for the Kraken to like try to get in game 82. There could be like a 5-way like playoff clinching scenario in the last few days of the season.
And the Avs will have absolutely a huge impact because they won't be playing
anymore. McKinnon will have his feet up with his chickpea pasta in the press box.
Yeah, insane. I can't wait for it, man. Hockey is back. It's better than ever. It's the best time of year for hockey, and I can't wait for it. And we're going to have so much to talk about, so much.
It's also so funny with the Blues. They lost this one game. We're talking about they might get back in. They're now, points percentage-wise, the 5th worst team in the NHL again.
Yep.
But also might make the playoffs.
Make it make sense, man.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Unbelievable.
So, we'll see. Let's. I know we have a mailbag to wrap up the show because I know we got to be time conscious. You got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, we do a little bit. But we got one mailbag from our boy Logan saying, "Gentlemen, greetings as always. 2 questions for you this evening. As the season is winding down, which teams have surprised or disappointed you most this season?"
The team that surprised me most, Buffalo. I think that's a pretty safe answer to go Buffalo
by a mile. Because even a month into the season, I was like, they're fucked. They're over. Yeah. And then they were just like, what if we were the best team in the league for like 4 months?
Yeah. Buffalo surprised me. I mean, in the West, no teams really surprised me in the West. I think it's just Buffalo. I'm not going to overthink it. It's Buffalo.
Yeah, it's Buffalo. And disappointed me the most. I mean, I had Florida in the Stanley Cup final. So I feel like it would be wrong to say anyone else, but you understand why they're not good, right?
Yeah. They also the thing that's just people are going to be dancing on floors. They're going to be right back next year.
That's the thing. It's like I don't think that's a real. I think it's Winnipeg a little bit.
Yeah,
it might not. Even
I didn't have high hopes for I think I had Winnipeg as a wild card team.
I just didn't picture Winnipeg in this race. When the West is this bad, I would have thought the Winnipeg Jets, maybe not even top 3 in the Central, should be pretty comfortably in there right now.
Yeah, Winnipeg's been a little disappointing, but the Hellbuck injury for like a month and a half just sent their season far away.
I look at that team and I go, you should not have 74 points.
No, I mean New Jersey's super disappointing.
I feel like that one's flying under the radar just because they've been disappointing all year. They've never been good at any point.
No, that's really disappointing for them. I'm not falling for New Jersey next year. I'm not buying into the hype.
I mean, the answer is Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah, Vegas has been very disappointing, but they're gonna make the playoffs. So even if it's they're gonna make the playoffs.
That's kind of also what I'm saying with Winnipeg is Vegas still sucks and they are still in.
Yeah.
So with Winnipeg, I look at them, I was like, you're not that far removed from.
No.
I would you're obviously not on the same level as the Stars and the Avalanche and the Wild, not on the top teams in the West, but they play the Avalanche really well. Why can't that translate for the rest of the season?
You would think. Yeah, I think I'd go Jets, Devils. I think that was probably my most disappointing because I've just bought into the Devils so much, and I'm not doing it next year. When we're doing our season preview next year, just remind me, Devils not going to do anything. They're ass.
Yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh is also very surprising. We thought they were one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, we did think they were. I think we all predicted them to be going first in the lottery. Yeah. So Vancouver's not disappointing. We were expecting them to be bad. Toronto may be disappointing, but also I think the writing was kind of on the wall. We didn't think that team was going to be that great, but also
I didn't think it would be this bad.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot more disappointing teams than surprising teams.
Yeah, just a bunch of messes of a season. But the second part of Logan's question, given the nature of special teams this season when the playoffs begin, would you rather see the Avs have a better power play or better penalty kill? Thank you, as always, gents.
That's a loaded question.
I lean penalty kill.
I see, I want to say penalty kill, but wasn't it against the Dallas series? They were like 92%.
But it's like, okay, so like I'm interpreting it as best in the league one side, worst in the league for the other. Where the Avalanche had the best penalty kill in the league and the worst power play, and we're still top of the league.
Yeah.
But if you're giving up 2 to 3 power play goals a game, you're
not going to win very many games. I think you do have to go PK.
That's what I mean. It's like a good power play is operating at 1 to 4, 2 to 4, 2 to 5. A bad penalty kill screws you. Like you're dead before you can start. I think you can make do with a bad power because they did. They did make bad do with a bad power play. You have a bad penalty kill, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Like you're not doing anything.
You're right. It's the penalty kill. You want the penalty kill to be better.
But you do need a good power play. Like the way that power play was, they're not winning shit with that.
But recently.
But right now they got both. Their penalty kill is absolutely brilliant. Like their power play has been amazing, and you can argue the penalty kill has still been better.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. I was leaning maybe have a better power play, but you're 100% right. If you give up 2 to 3 power play goals a game, you're getting swept.
But that's okay, so you have a late game situation, and let's say in one game you have a huge penalty kill and a huge power play. You have to kill the penalty. Like that's the more important thing. Like if you take a penalty in overtime, if you give up the goal, the game's over.
Yep.
You don't score on a power play in overtime. Well, that sucks, but the game's still going.
And also, like when you think the penalty kill is going to be great, that means the goalie's probably playing great too. Yeah. So you got to go penalty kill.
Plus, good penalty kill takes all the momentum out of a game, can kill a home crowd. Like good power play can win you a game.
Yes.
Don't know if it wins you a cup though.
I agree. Yeah, that's a great question, Logan. Yeah. Great question.
Good little thought experiment. Like you need both. You can't have a shit power play and expect to do much. But if you have a bad penalty kill, you're probably not even really making the playoffs.
Yeah, you're donezo. So, Logan, you're the man. We appreciate you as always.
Other than that, we're pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean, we went very long for a 9-2 win, so I'm pretty happy with how this one went. We'll be back probably Thursday or Friday-ish.
Dude, I got no fucking idea.
Yeah, no idea. Because we're both kind of in that crazy part of schedule right now where I'll be after tomorrow. I'm working like 10 straight days. You're working an insane amount right now. We're going to get another episode in. We just don't know if it's going to be.
Yeah, like it's not a question of like, oh, I'm working like 9 o'clock. Like my nights are more open now, but it's like my week is not any more open than it ever is. So,
well, like you may get a show Thursday morning, you may get one Friday morning. We'll see.
Yeah, you get what you get.
Yeah, get what you get. You don't throw a fit. So we'll be back then. But I don't think I have anything else, man. Let's send these people on their merry way.
So these people. Oh, the one thing we missed in the last episode, Cale Makar did get to 500 points. That's the one thing.
Oh yeah, that did happen. We did. Here's the thing: we loved doing that live show. It also we've talked about this countless times. Griffin and I spend probably about 45 minutes just shooting the shit before an episode. And we didn't really we wanted to be time conscious with Danny, who had been there all day, to not make him hang out with us for that long. So we did have to go pretty quick. So we didn't get our 45 minutes of pre-show out before the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, we hung out for like 3 hours.
Yeah, but still, man, like we usually we shoot the shit for like if we get started 45 minutes after we first hop on a call, that's a good night. Some nights we'll talk for like an hour and a half before we record for an hour and a half.
Yeah. But I mean, like, again, to be fair, we watched the whole game together, basically. So it's not like we didn't get to shoot the shit beforehand.
Yeah. But the people were coming up to us complaining about the TVs. So
yeah, that messed up our flow. So
yeah, messed up our flow. So, but yeah, we'll be back later this week. Hopefully talking about another Avs W.
Yeah. Here's hoping. But that is going to do it for us on this edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. As always, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at GR Youngs. You can follow Christian at Christian_Belay, and you can follow the show at HockeyMTN Pod. But again, thank you all so very much for tuning in. We will catch you all next time. But until then, let's go Avs.